So today we're going to talk about, is this the real deal? Is this an awakening, a twin flame journey, or just a toxic dynamic? Okay, because I know how this question can come up. It did for me, and does for a lot of the people that I work with, a lot of people that I know on this journey, because it's a journey like no other. So really, I'd like to start by saying, even though the dynamic, the connection of the SSI, the twin flame, is triggering, it's got to be triggering because it's there to wake us up, right? It is triggering, and lots of things will kind of go crazy in your life, as we talked about in Ego, Death, and Dark Night of the Soul. However, if somebody is being out and out mean to you, deliberately trying to cause harm and hurt, that is a very different beast. So things like blocking and ghosting and running and disappearing and being confused and having ups and downs and triggering is quite different to deliberately behaving in narcissistic or toxic ways, okay? And also, the other thing that it's important to bear in mind throughout all of this is not a relationship. This twin flame journey is not a relationship at this stage. If you're seeking, if they've run off or whatever, this is not a relationship yet. It doesn't mean it never was. It doesn't mean it never will be. It's just not right now. It's a connection, and that connection was sent to wake you up and to send you on a journey into yourself. Further down the road, that could well lead into a really wonderful relationship if you want it to, all right? But just remember, at this time, it is not a relationship. And the reason I keep saying that it's a connection, is because the normal rules of relationships don't apply. Romantic relationships I'm talking about here specifically, okay? So, this is an awakening into who you are, connecting with yourself, and the other twin is there to activate that. That's what this is about. So if you start applying the rules or the things that worked in soulmate dynamics or romantic relationships, this will keep looping round, okay? And then from that moment of soul recognition, you just know something big is happening for you. Something big has come for you. You just know it. Like somebody turned on the lights, someone turned up the color, turned up the volume, and something just kind of clicks into place for you. But then you just get so caught up in the love phase, you forget about all of that and just enjoy the love phase until it's kind of rudely taken away for a while and go into separation. But from that moment of soul recognition that something has set in motion. And and that's it. If you've met your other self, you're having a spiritual awakening. If this was soulmates or any other kind of so-called normal relationship, after a bit of time, you'd notice the energy calming down a bit by itself, discharging a bit. Eventually, people call it the honeymoon period. The honeymoon period wears off a bit, normal life sets in, you get into your routines, and you can move on with your life either together or you can go separate ways. Even though there may be some pain involved, it's still a lot easier than what happens on the SSI journey. So in that way that it's different, because on the SSI journey, the energy doesn't naturally dissipate as it does with regular common relationships and connections. If anything, it gets stronger. And even when you kind of, as a feminine anyway, try to pull away, that also feeds the energy. And so all you can do is detox and bring it back down to neutral, as I've said in the other videos. Detox, because even trying to force this connection to cease, to no longer be it's just going to feed it even more. We have to get back to neutral because they are you. Two bodies, two minds, one soul, one energy field. So whatever you do to feed that energy in whatever direction is going to, it's just going to charge it up even more. You can't stop it. You can't switch it off. Feels like it's happening to you. Even when it doesn't feel so great. And that's not the same as a toxic dynamic. All right. So the only way to manage this is to take the energy off them and focus it back onto yourself. So another aspect of this is everything changes. Your work can change. Your perspectives can change on everything. Everything feels like a bit of an illusion. You're questioning everything. Even your friendships can change. And that's not even necessarily friends talking about, because some people do have their friends and family saying, get away from this person, this is just toxic. But that's not even necessarily the reasoning behind friendship changing in this. You might not even had a chance to tell any of your friends about this journey that you're on, but just naturally people are falling away from your life because you're just not aligning in that way anymore. And you're just changing on every level of your being. And so this is being reflected in the outer world as well, because that's just how it works. That's like how life really works. What goes on the inside is reflected on the outside. It's way bigger than it could have imagined, to be honest. It's way bigger than that other body. It's way bigger than you. It's way bigger than everything. This is just another version of you, your simultaneous soul incarnation. It's such a beautiful gift, this journey. When you start to recognize and work with the energy and what is being shown to you in this, frankly, quite magical, very deeply spiritual way. And it's happening to wake you up. And you've woken up because you're the lead twin as the feminine. You probably think, I never asked for this. I want to be the one running away. But as the lead twin, everything I've just said is your part in this process. All the questioning is intended to lead to surrendering and reframing how you see the world and how you read the illusion that we call reality, and what we understand about love and what we understand about ourselves and multi-dimensionality and spiritual awakening. All of this so that your soul can be liberated in the physical. It's so amazing. It's so amazing to have two souls incarnated at the same time, because you share a frequency. You can't just turn it off. You can't just turn it off. So this is why they are here, to reconnect you with that knowingness that's deep inside of you, heightening and deepening your consciousness at the same time. And every time you go into a despair on this journey, when you come back from that period, that darker phase, if you like, you come back stronger and clearer and a more solid version of yourself. And that doesn't happen in a toxic dynamic. Please remember that they came, your SSI came, the other body showed up with your soul inside of it at the same time as you, with your soul inside of you, okay? To be the catalyst to wake you up, to vibrate higher, to shine brighter. So got to keep bringing the attention back to you, back to your journey, neutralizing the energy in that respect, for taking the focus off them and back onto you, and connecting back in with your inner wisdom, because this is about you, your awakening. You are the lead part in your soul's evolution. So really they are the main ways that you know that you have met your SSI. After you can consciously connect with each other and have that soul recognition, the energy becomes really intense, and then the separation ensues. Life goes crazy, body goes crazy. You learn to work with the energy a bit more so that you can identify patterns and blocks within yourself that need addressing. And this is why it can be incredibly difficult to be with someone else once you've had soul recognition. With your energy and your attention will be focused on that other person, but it's more of a depleted feeling. Even though you can feel tired on the SSI journey, absolutely, goodness me. But there's an awareness that something big is going on inside you, a big change is happening. And that's because it is, and it's for your highest good. And then also in the external world, things will be going on as well. And at each stage, you get clearer, you get stronger.